I have another tool to review. I got a Ryobi brushless grinder. It's model P423. It's brushless. So external features, I got the side handle with the wrench built in, so you'll have a place to store this, but it also does tend to fall out. It's not held in there all that well. Side handle can mount on the side, the top, and the other side. Let's get this off. It came with both a surface grinding wheel and a cutting wheel. The guard, it's got a button you push on the side here, and it rotates around. You rotate it all the way around to the back, it comes off. For those times when you want to go with no protection, you can take the guard right off. This is a 4.5-inch grinder. So let's open this up and see what the insides are like. So here we have the insides of the grinder. This actually has some of the largest heat sinking I've seen on the Ryobi brushless tools. It's a pretty decent size. It's yeah, that's just a controller board there. One thing that's not so great is this switch is just a toggle switch with a slide switch run by this arm and a spring. Not that there's anything particularly wrong with it, but it doesn't look like there's that great of a way for this to keep dust out of itself. And this is going to have a bunch of grinding dust around it because it is, well, a grinder. So in other tools, the motor has been held in place by the outside casing, and the gearbox has been attached to it, like the impact driver. The gearbox is attached to the plastic only, but here you can see these long screws screw the motor directly to the gearbox, which is why when I loosened up these screws it doesn't slide apart, because it can't, because it's screwed together. So there's just enough flex in the case to get it apart, but the motor is still solidly affixed to the gearbox. So that's good, because this, you want that attached firmly together. So let's see. I guess I'll get it a step further apart and we'll take a closer look. So here's the gearbox assembly. Seems fairly well made. They still have the same weeny little fan and weeny little bearing on the motor. So here we have the gearbox. And here is the pinion. Decent sized bearing on there. Seal bearing. I don't know though. Yeah, so if this bearing goes, it's very unlikely that you'd be able to replace it, because this looks like it's just shrunk on. So it's not going to come off. And the other side goes right into the armature. So yeah, if this dies, you're not replacing any bearings inside. Well, you might replace this little end one, but you're not replacing this one. It's packed right full of grease. Got our detent pin for the chuck change. That's a little bit stiff. It's a little hard to push in, so it's going to be a little bit awkward to use. Got the 3 holes for that pin to engage in, and then yeah, just a powdered metal gear, and no obvious way to take this apart. So it's got an O-ring around the outside to stop the grease from getting out. Machine surface, cast on the outside. Weeny little bearing there. So this surface is milled. I guess it's good enough. It seals on the inside, but it's not a very good machining job. There's some pits in there still. You can see where the tool changed. It's almost like they did it with a manual mill where your feed rate isn't constant. There's a little step there. So there's a step up in this corner. So yeah, down here there's another step. Maybe that's on purpose, but looks a little questionable to me. Motor windings here, a little bit crudely done, like that one's all lapped over itself weird. That one looks nice and that one looks nice. But some of the other ones, the wires are sort of crisscrossed. I don't know how much that really matters, but it just seems odd that some are nice and neat and some aren't. Maybe it has to do with the mortar that they wrap them around. So I'm going to get this back together again and test out how well it performs. So I'm going to grind a little bit on this and see how hard I can push down, see if it stalls at all. So you can get it to stall if you push really, really hard, but I was pushing harder than I would when I would normally grind and it didn't stall. So yeah, definitely, once again, surprisingly powerful. So I've come to expect that from the brushless tools. So one thing about this that's not all that surprising is it does suck down batteries like crazy. You probably run a grinder like this for a longer period of time than you would for most woodworking tools, at least as far as saws go. But yeah, plenty of power, eats through batteries like crazy, but really the cordless grinder would be for a little more touch-up stuff. If you're going to be grinding for a long time doing, I don't know, what you'd be grinding for hours on end, fitting something together or grinding something apart, you might want to use a corded grinder rather than keeping, swapping batteries over and over again. I do really like this adjustable guard. It adjusts quickly and easily. Oh, if you're not trying to show it on camera, it adjusts quickly and easily, and it also comes off easily if you need to get into a tight spot where the guard's in the way. Feels okay in the hand. Nothing, nothing to write home about. This switch is a little bit awkward with gloves. It's not too bad, but it's a little bit awkward. One nice feature is if you do happen to leave it locked on and you plug in a battery, it doesn't take off. It knows, even though the switch is on, it knows not to start. As soon as I stop it, and turn it back on again, it starts. And that little bit of grind at the end is normal because right now I'm turning the brushless motor around and it cogs between, you know, the magnet positions. So that's normal. It goes down, but then at the end it sort of ratchets, but that's just because it has a brushless motor. So that's the Ryobi brushless grinder. It's a P423. If I have any problems with this, I'll do an additional video on it. This is obviously new, so it hasn't gotten a whole lot of use. So we'll see how well it holds up. And want to see more? Subscribe. If there's some other tool you'd like me to review, let me know down in the comments. I do a lot of Ryobi stuff, and that's because I buy a lot of Ryobi stuff. Every tool I've reviewed so far has been one that I bought for my own personal use, and I'm sort of in the Ryobi ecosystem. And right now, I'm not making enough money on YouTube to justify buying tools to review, you know, just to review. So